Hi, I'm Cheryl, and I work for AXS, and I am here tonight with Michael from the Contortionist. Hey.
How's it going?
Good. So you are here in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the intersection, and you are headlining a show tonight?
Yes, yeah.
And who are you playing with tonight?
Tonight we'll be playing with Monuments, Entheos, and Sleep Makes Waves.
Okay, great. And for people that don't know you or know your band, who are the other people in your band?
So we have Robbie Baca, who plays guitar, Joey Baca, who plays drums, Cameron Maynard on guitar, Jordan Eberhard on bass, and Eric Gunther on keyboards, and then myself on vocals.
Now, I understand that you're actually relatively new to the band.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the band, and how did you meet up with the other guys?
I've been in the band now for about three and a half years.
Okay.
I've known the guys for maybe 6 or so,
Okay.
maybe 5. Basically met through touring. My band had toured with them. We shared the same manager, and just always kept in touch. Their singer ended up finding out he was having a child, and then that kind of opened up the door for me.
And so your former band was called Last Chance to Reason. So now, did they still tour as well?
We haven't toured in a while, but we're not broken up. But it's kind of on hiatus.
It's kind of your secondary band that you do hiatus.
Yeah, they're all fairly busy with their own personal lives.
Okay, so it's still something that you do on occasion. You didn't just leave. So, so now you have a new album, and you have a single off of that, which is doing well.
Yeah, it's doing fairly well.
And how would you describe your style?
It's a mixture of things. I think ambient rock, mostly just rock and metal, if you want to just really be cut and dry about it. But there's a lot of ambient influences, people like Brian Eno and stuff like that. And then you got the more theoretical side of things, where we listen to Dream Theater and things of that nature. We just kind of blend it all together and see what works and what doesn't, and if we like it, that's what we go with.
It's like a very dreamlike quality when you listen to it. And then for those of us who love heavy metal or harder rock, all of a sudden you have that dreamlike quality, and then boom, you kick it in with the
I think it adds a nice contrast.
and that's really nice. That's because you kind of get soothed and lulled into that kind of dreamy state, and then you bring us out. And it's really great. And so it's interesting, you are a 6-piece band. You don't see that very much. I mean, you usually see 4-piece. Once in a while you'll see an extra guitar. But one thing that's unique about your band is you do have a keyboard player. You don't see that in all rock or hard rock bands. And do you think that adds to the quality, what you can do, because you have that?
I believe so. This day and age, a lot of bands actually run tracks, which means that they can have keyboards, but they don't actually have to have a keyboard. So
right.
Basically, they have a computer that runs it through. They play to a click, and they can do that.
Sure.
We play to a click and stuff like that, but that's more for a light show and stuff.
Right.
Stuff of that nature. But I think it adds a tremendous amount. It's an extra set of ears. It's an extra ingredient to mix in with everything live, and
sure.
we improv a bit live and kind of have fun with it. So that's another layer that gets to be added into that mixture.
And also too, if you are someone who really loves music and loves bands, to see the keyboard player up there, I always love to watch the keyboard player. And if you miss that element, then it's just not there. So that is kind of cool that you have that in the band. And so you, of course, have the album out now. And do you do all your own videos? Because your videos are really amazing. Do you come up?
Since I've been in the band, I've produced every video that
Oh,
we put out.
nice.
Whether it be our rediscovered stuff, which is more of a live setting that we just released recently,
Okay.
to our music videos for the album, Language and Primordial Sin.
Okay.
So yeah, I produce and work with a crew, basically bring in a director, and then he handpicks his crew, and then we kind of sort everything out from there.
That's really nice.
Yeah, we have 100% creative control.
Well, when you have creative control, I think the video speaks more about what you want it to say, just not someone coming in and
absolutely,
Okay. Right.
and saying they want it to be a certain way, and they don't have your vision, I guess would be the right word.
Exactly. And, you know, sometimes that leads to disappointment for a lot of bands. And then, you know, sometimes you can bring in somebody who's, you know, so talented they give you something that you didn't even expect. But I at least like to give guidelines and a rough estimate of where I want to see the product go.
Right.
And then kind of, I still like to let them have some creative input, because
Right,
I think
right.
it makes everything grow a bit more if you do.
The professional side maybe of the, they know all about the equipment, and I mean even just that kind of stuff. So, so what, you have a very long tour, or is this a short tour?
This is about 6 weeks, 5.5 or something.
Okay, and you're headed up the East Coast?
Northeast, and then we head down the East Coast, and then we kind of wrap back around and finish off around this area. I think we end in Detroit.
Okay. So where are you guys actually from?
The band is based out of Indianapolis area.
Okay.
Myself, I'm from Maine. Our keyboard player is from Georgia, and our bass player is from Los Angeles.
Okay, so you're kind of all over the place.
Home base is Indiana, though.
Okay.
I now live in Indiana as well as our bass player, so most of us do live in Indiana.
Okay.
Now, but all of us were originally from different areas.
Okay. I guess you would have to be in the same place, or relatively, for
or
practice.
At least, you know, we used to do it where we'd rehearse for 2 weeks before every tour, so we'd all fly in, rehearse for 2 weeks, and then leave for
okay.
tour. Now it makes it so we can rehearse all the time and make sure our tools are sharp year round.
Now, do you have a dream tour? Like, if you could go out with anyone, who would you like to go out and play with?
I mean, the possibilities are endless with that one.
That is true.
I mean, as long as we can keep touring with, you know, great bands and people keep coming out and watching, that's all I can really ask for.
Okay.
And I like to tour with bands that inspire me in some way, shape, or form, whether it's the way they perform, or it's their songwriting, or anything, you know, whether even just them as human beings. I like to be out on the road with people that inspire me to be a better person, to be a better musician. Because at the end of the day, I tour most of the year, so who I surround myself with is slowly who I start to become. So I like to surround myself with people that help me become a better person.
Do you have a favorite venue?
I have a lot of favorite venues, actually. It's not just because I'm at the Intersection, but the Intersection's cool. We played the smaller room last time when we had live.
Okay.
We sold it out, and it was a blast.
Right.
We've played the big room a bunch of times. Anywhere in Denver. Denver is one of our favorite cities to play.
Okay.
Kind of a home away from home type area.
I know a lot of people really like the Machine Shop down in Flint, which is kind of interesting. That's kind of in Michigan anyway, that's kind of a favorite. And the Intersection, I hear, in the Orbit Room in Grand Rapids, a lot of people really like. I hear a lot of bands compliment here in the Orbit Room, and so we're really fortunate.
Yeah,
and then
and I've been playing the Intersection now for, I want to say 6 or 7
Oh wow,
years. Yeah,
it's a while. Now, where are you playing in Detroit?
Detroit, we were playing. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it.
St. Andrews Hall, maybe.
It is St. Andrews
Yeah.
Hall, yeah.
I was gonna say that would probably be a good fit for you guys.
We played there before as well. So
there's quite a few venues in Detroit that are the old, kind of like the Fillmore, that are the really old kind of venues. Magic Stick, I think it's called.
Magic Stick, yeah.
And Chicago has some of the. Yeah, Harpo's is in Detroit. I don't think too many bands play there as much as they used to. But Chicago also, are you hitting Chicago or no?
We were supposed to play Chicago yesterday.
And
we had to cancel the show because 4 of our members had food poisoning.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we barely made it today. Today was like a bit of a fiasco.
Okay.
Just to make sure we got here on time.
Yeah, I actually heard that you were sick.
Yeah.
The band was sick.
I'm actually personally not sick.
Okay.
Thankfully.
But you can't do it alone.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we have 3 other band members and a crew member that are sick. So.
Okay. So, where were you going to play in Chicago?
The Subterranean.
Okay. Yes.
I've never played there before, but we rescheduled to May.
Oh, nice. You'll hit it back. You'll hit it back on the tail end. You'll swing back through. So, so if you were not doing this, what would you be doing?
There's 2 options really that pop up at first. Well, I'm from Maine, so I built lobster boats my whole life, which is basically fiberglassing outer shell, and then I have other people finish on the inside.
Oh.
And I also worked on lobster boats for many years. I'm a coastal boy.
Okay.
So I'd probably do
Something to do with
industry.
that industry. That's pretty cool.
'Cause I like blue collar work. I grew
Right.
up in a blue collar town.
Okay.
I like to get my hands dirty.
Right.
I like the satisfaction of going home after a long day of hard work.
Right. Okay.
And then the other thing I would potentially do is my little brother is a mixed martial arts fighter.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for about 6 years now.
So you do that too. That's kind of.
I'd like to do more on the training side of things. I don't think, I wouldn't want to be 40 and just have my body barely
Right.
working on me. 'Cause
Right.
I do it for, recreational purposes now, even though I train pretty hard and take it pretty seriously.
Right.
But even that, my body feels the wear and tear of that.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine if it was like if I was nose to the grindstone.
Right. I think if you do that some people actually do that for their career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like any other athlete. Once you reach a certain age,
Yeah,
you're kind of done, regardless of how good you are at
it's
it.
tricky, because the body's definitely got a time limit on it. So
Yeah.
I'm a very love the physicality. Of
But that must make it great for you being a lead singer in a band because you're in great shape.
Yeah,
you're
well,
definitely.
My body is my instrument. So
Yeah, and
that kind of plays a factor in some of the reason why I take my physical preparation.
right. Do you you don't play any instrument when you're on stage, do you?
On stage, I use a vocoder, which is basically a little keyboard that I talk into.
Okay.
It pronounces what I'm saying, but plays the notes that I'm playing on the keyboard. So
Interesting.
It gives it like a futuristic vibe.
Okay, so you do that, but you don't like grab a guitar or
No,
anything like
not
that.
Yet, anyways.
Okay. Do you play any other instrument?
Very crudely, but yeah, I play a little guitar and a little piano, enough to get by, but
Right, to write and things like that.
exactly, song structure and things like that.
Right.
Nature. But if it came to live performance, I'd definitely I'd stay in my lane, so to speak,
Right.
and play to my abilities. And
Right.
Try to overshoot it too.
Right. Now, do you write all your own music? Yes. Okay. And you do it. Do you do it? Like certain members do certain things, or do you then come together, or do you all just kind of creatively work on it together?
It's a mixture. I find that if one way isn't working, you need a backup plan. If that doesn't work, the next option has to come up. So basically, the way we'll write is we get very limited space to write an album. I think the last album we had 3 months to write with a month in the studio, which we were writing as well while we were in the studio.
Okay.
This next album we actually get a decent amount of time to write. But usually what we'll do is everybody will write individually, start to get some ideas kind of flowing.
Right.
Get the general vibe down, bring it to the table. Then sometimes that song will turn into a group effort and everybody will sit down in the jam room and be like, how about this riff over that? And we'll start, just kind of throwing ideas around. The other way is some people will write full songs and then everybody else will add their own layer over the top. But there's a bunch of different ways. I find if you rely on one way too much, then when you don't have that way, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you hear that a band will say, well, I only do lyrics, or I only do the instrumental part, and you wonder sometimes if that
some members that are,
better at probably doing certain things, right?
Everybody kind of plays their own role, but
their own strength.
For the most part, the creative process is everybody's favorite part. So everybody gets pretty hands-on, and everybody wants to be a part in it.
Right.
The drummer wants a hand in the guitar riff, and the guitarist wants a hand in the vocals, and that's good. It helps you grow.
Right.
Sometimes people put their foot down. The ideas, but
like if you have an idea that you're really strong about that you want in the song or whatever.
And usually there's so much time to work on it that some people come around, sometimes they don't. But,
okay.
Usually try to make it an ego-free zone whenever we do it, but it's hard. It's hard when you're working on something and you feel very strongly about it.
Right. Well, yeah, and then you want it in the song, and so that's so if I picked up your iPod right now. What are you listening to today? Yourself?
Today was Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Jim Croce, Bon Iver.
You had a little bit of a 70s day.
I love folk music. Grew up in a country household. My grandfather was a country musician.
Okay. Interesting.
Folk was kind of like that happy medium for me where it wasn't too twangy.
Right.
But still had the storyteller vibe. And it's a little sadder. I always kind of got drawn to the the more melancholy side of
Right.
things.
That's really interesting, that to hear what you're actually listening to,
Yeah.
and what I always find that really interesting. What are you listening to, and what is influencing you?
Yeah.
So,
But it's a pretty broad range. Every day is kind of different.
Right.
Throughout the course of however long, I've gone on different binges on,
mood. Sometimes it just depends on your mood.
Exactly. And,
What you wanna listen
when I
to.
was a teenager, it was metal. When I got a little older, it was classic rock. And then I got
Right.
got back into folk music once I got older and started appreciating
Right.
it again.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just this never-ending cycle of random.
That's pretty awesome. And then all these bands are coming back around now and touring when they didn't have to tour for a long time. So it's kind of like we can all see them
Yeah.
again. So that's kind of, or of course not the ones that are passed away, like Jim Croce obviously isn't touring because
Love to see James Taylor, though. James Taylor's one of my favorite.
yes, he's still touring. He still is out
It
there.
still sounds great.
Yeah.
James Taylor stood the test of time.
Yes, he has. So, so what's next for you guys?
We wrap up this tour in May, May 2nd, and then we just write a bunch. We have a potential tour lined up for the. Actually, I don't even think it's potential. I think we actually already announced it for August in
Okay.
Australia.
Nice.
The band we're on tour with right now, Sleep Makes Waves. That's where they're from. So.
Wow, that's really nice that they kind of invited you over
Yeah.
to do that with them.
Yeah, so we invited them over here. They invited us over.
Nice.
And yeah, we're gonna do
That's
some shows over there.
that's a good thing to do. Sometimes it gets you out in different countries
Exactly.
when you can host.
Exactly. Yeah, bring it back.
Yeah.
Repay the favor.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to do. So you have a new album. You're touring. You guys are doing great. We're going to get some great pictures, some photos tonight. So thank you so much. This is Michael from the Contortionist.
Thank you.
Thank you.